What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Erabody's podcast, where generations collide and cultures combine. Today, we got a great show for you. As special guest for today, we have the #1 hairstylist in New Orleans for kids by the name of Mimi. And her business she represents is Silk Me Kids. She's not only an entrepreneur, a community leader, but she also is a beauty queen. And we'll get back into that later on in the show. But for now, it's your boy, Ricky.
And I'm the Honorable Darren D. Purnell, the street speaker himself. What's up, Rick?
What's going on, D?
Man, what's going on? It's been one of those weeks, Rick. They arrested a guy named Christopher Gilmore, if I'm not mistaken. He was on his way they arrested him in Dustin, Florida.
Yep.
Ex-cop on his way to New Orleans to, I guess, a terrorist attack, to do some harm and some danger, and they caught him before he was able to pull it off. So shouts out to law enforcement, however they got the tips on what this guy was about to do, not to bring harm and sadness to anybody else's family. Rick, I want to know, what do you think about when people want to harm other people, and why not just take yourself? If you get that bad, just take yourself.
Yeah, that's a level of selfishness for sure. But then to come down here, he was coming to New Orleans on Locals Night for Jazz Fest.
Right, so that would have been...
Yeah, black people. He wanted us dead.
So, but not just, I would say that, but it would have been a lot of locals that we crying about over him pulling off an act like this. And to those who going through a situation like this, I don't know what would make you want to get a gun and go shoot innocent people that have absolutely nothing to do with what you're anger about or whatever. And then he was an ex-police officer. So, man, you don't know what people be going through. I'm so glad that they was able to capture him before he was to pull this cowardly act off. And it's only a coward act. Yeah. Because why would you, you don't have nothing to do with what, I don't see the connection.
Yeah, people coming out here to have fun.
Right.
But again, that's why, we give a lot of kickback to technology.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure he had notes somewhere. He was surfing the net and they red flagged him. So shout out to technology in today's era.
Right. And I will say this, it's when the guy got caught and he's a police officer, which means a former police officer, his shooting ability is better than the norm. Yeah. And he could have really did a lot of damage in here. So shout out to the Dustin Police Department, and they say they work hand in hand. But he was from North Carolina, Chapel Hill area, and it's disgraceful, cowardly. We're not talking about you in a great way. It's in a cowardly way, because that's just, it says a lot about you. You'll pull an act like that.
But you know what I like about it most? I hate the fact that he tried to gather, the resources to do that to us. Right. But one thing I like about that is that you got to come to New Orleans, you got to come to Louisiana and deal with our law. Right. And the law here is like no other in no other city.
Right.
Yeah, we still in slave law here, so boy, they about to throw the book at him.
And speaking of that law that we have in Louisiana, we have clerk of court, criminal district clerk of court, Mr. Calvin Donkin. He did 28 years, if I'm not mistaken, in jail innocently. He got his paperwork and he was exonerated for doing that. He come out. He been helping brothers get out. He ran for the criminal court. He won. It was a landslide. And I want to send a special cowardly shout out to Darren Lombard that's in the position. He beat him. Now, Darren Lombard has not released any statement. The man beat you fair and square. He went to the thing. They even during the election, Darren put out a post and saying that the man, he actually did the crime or whatever. So he tried little tricks like that to win. But now that you see what they trying to do to him, Darren still ain't put out no statement or nothing like that. And whether it was for him or you, this is a shot at New Orleans. Well, this man won elections, and a representative from West Monroe, Louisiana, stepped up and created a bill to try to combine the two, and his elective on seat would be no more.
Well, I seen him, man, at an event I told you about sometime last week.
Who?
Darren Lombard.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was a little bit concerned about the seat being up for grabs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it would think that after the election, if I was salty and I'm running against you, Rick, and I was salty, But when they come and pull something like this, man, I would have. When he had his press conference, Kelvin Duncan, on the steps of criminal court, that's right around the corner. His office is in criminal court.
Right.
I would have stood right next to you, Rick, and say, nah, this bigger than me and Rick. I'm gonna stand toe to toe with the man, and whatever he about, I'm gonna be about from this day forward, because I can see he said nothing.
So he still didn't make a statement.
He
about
still
it?
ain't make a statement. Darren Lumbaugh should have stood right next to Kelvin Duncan and be like, nah, we ain't rocking like that. I would have played the game like this, Rick. I would have stepped down. And I would have hired Ricky. If I was in office, I would have hired you in office and then stepped down the next day. And you would have been in the seat before they would try to pull off this act.
Yeah.
That's only right. That's that's the type of moves I would have had to pull off, because he ain't got another couple of days in office.
Yeah.
But to make sure they trying to prevent Ricky. But the reason why I think they're trying to prevent you from taking office, Kelvin Duncan from taking office, if Kelvin Duncan take office, he had a problem getting his records. He probably could have been out of jail sooner. Now imagine a man that went through the system, over the system now.
Yeah.
Imagine every year 3 innocent people getting out of jail, because Louisiana lead the nation in locked up people,
Unlawful.
and they show you they lead the nation in unlawful arrests. Imagine those people come out. Guess who got to pay that fine when they come out? The state of Louisiana.
The state of Louisiana. Okay.
So imagine he helping guys get out of jail. Let's just say 2 or 3 a year. That's millions of dollars you got to pay out. The state. And they looking at it like, nah, I don't want to pay that.
So he part of the machine, in other words.
Well, he going to go against the grain. Kevin Duncan went against the grain.
No, not Kevin Duncan. I'm talking about
Darren
Darren
Lumbaugh.
Lumbaugh. He's part of the machine.
Yeah, pay to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep.
What?
But now, once he stepped down, let's just say if they combine the 2 clerks together, with Chelsea Napoleon is over the clerk of court.
Yeah, land records.
Yeah, all that, she's over that. Now they combine the whole clerk. Her experience in getting guys out that need their paperwork to prove they're innocent.
Yeah.
I would say
she's gonna drop the ball on that, because it's not in her expertise.
It's not in her.
Yeah, and she's been a clerk for a while now,
Yeah.
but it's been over land records and in her division.
Yeah, and just civil court and all that.
Yeah.
So New Orleans always have 2, but every other town, county in Louisiana, we call them parish, have one. So Louisiana, in New Orleans, we have 2 because of that reason. But they voted against it. The vote up now. He has been sworn in. He took his oath. Now on the day he's supposed to take over, I don't think they're gonna let him take over, because they're getting rid of the position.
So wait,
they already voted against it. The governor is at the governor's desk now. If he signed it and he don't reject it, it's law. His position is no more. And the governor, he ain't got the sense God promised the Statue of Liberty. He said that New Orleans should be like everybody else. Well, New Orleans should tell the rest of them they should pay their taxes fair share, just like New Orleans and everywhere else. New Orleans is the breadwinner to the state of Louisiana.
So rewind that. Who voted to take
all them? Nothing changed.
So this was political.
Political.
So the community had no say so in this bill.
The senator got together and they voted that New Orleans should have 1 clerk of court like everybody else, and they already voted. It's already in. The governor, once he signed his signature, is in. So even though he was voted in by the people, they're eliminating his position.
So what happens with him?
All for nothing. And that's why I have third line NOLA coming on. They do a lot with helping people to vote. A lot of times, this is why people don't want to go to vote.
Yeah.
That's basically saying everybody that voted for Kelvin Duncan, and I did, your vote don't matter. Everybody that voted him in, now the governor and the state and the senator stepped up, signed, Senator and Congress of Louisiana, they voted against him and basically voted him out.
So what senators? Like the senators that represent New Orleans?
No, he waved from West Monroe, Louisiana. He brought it up to the House. And then he come up to the law. We have nothing to do with him. That's what Gary Chambers was talking about. He have nothing to do with New Orleans at all. There wasn't a New Orleans senator or even a surrounding senator. West Monroe sit up North Louisiana. We sit at down here.
So what happened with Royce Duplessis and
All
the
them
other
spoke up against it. They voted against them. It still got to go off a vote. And they voted on party lines. All them stuck together and say, nah, we going to vote like this.
That's wild, bro.
That's
I'm
wild.
speechless. I'm thinking he had a fair shot, and then he had so much of a welcoming party. It wasn't a party, but a welcoming for as all the community leaders and everybody came out.
But this goes to show you what's good for us. The government never let it prosper. What's bad for us, they'll let it grow till mildew get on it. So that's when it's bad. But anything that's good, Kelvin Duncan would have been a perfect. He would have been a perfect for this position.
For that seat.
Because he's been through it. So on negative and a positive level, you can look at it that guys that's trying to get back in court, they got somebody that went 28 years with this struggle. So he know what you feeling like from inside of the jail. But to people that just need their records in general, they got somebody that understand the pain. Because if you innocent and you in jail, nothing will deter you or make you want to hurt somebody when you trying to get your records and it's a delay. So and this crazy, and we have another thing on what's going on is these kids in the mall of Louisiana, they had a shooting, and you would say that, man, going to the mall is so innocent.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah,
you definitely would think.
Yeah, and a young lady, I'm sorry, y'all, I don't know her name, but she from Lafayette. She was there in a food court and was actually hit and killed by a stray bullet. But this is nonsense at its best, and this is where all these beefs and problems that our young people occur with each other and getting their hands on weapons and not having a mental capacity to know that it's not the time for that.
You mentioned coward, like that's another cowardly act.
Right.
Like back in the day, we used to fight and become friends.
Right.
If you beat me,
you won.
Yeah, you won. You won. I'ma catch you the next day if it's just that deep.
Right.
But it ain't nothing for me to, it never escalated to the point where I had to go and get it.
Right.
Yeah. But these days it's so glorified, and we got to go back to the music.
Right.
We got to go back to some of the movies that they watch that they mind haven't developed for. They have rated R, PG-13, all these different things for a reason.
Right. And I would say this to glorify being at the bottom. I think when you say rap, a lot of them rappers in D1 fight against this a lot, where you could see how do we went from Public Enemy on Fight the Power, understanding the nature of what's going on in America, speaking like that, until now.
Fight the nigga.
Yeah, and you're killing your brother or sister, and now it's really all the young men was involved. This system gonna bury them in Angola.
Yeah.
So when you kill another brother, you ain't just getting rid of him. It's two brothers lost, because one go to jail and one dead. So we down two fighters that could be fighting. And we see this so much. So many of our brothers go get incarcerated, then get themselves together. When they do have a lot of things out here that me and Rick go to programs and try to teach before you get in that situation. I hate when I go to juvenile jail, JJC, and I'm talking to these guys, but this is after. We have to be more proactive and before, and you got to think much of yourself before these things happen, and you throw your life away, because when I come in there after, you got a 40-year sentence.
Right.
So you got to find a way to get help before the 40-year sentence. When I found out as a young man, they got a lot of programs out there. You got a cell phone in your hand. It's your job and your duty. You can find somebody out there, some organization or some group that you can connect with before you go down this hill.
Yeah, and it's just to add on to that too. I come from a troubled background myself, and I always mention this whenever I get a chance. This is how I connect with the young people. But nobody was, I didn't have the mental capacity to go and look for help.
Right.
But I also didn't have the mentor to come up to me to be like, this is the avenues that you could take.
Right.
So at this day and age and the era we in, if we want change, we got to step in front of the bullet. We got to stop being so passive and letting these young kids, we know they toting.
Right.
You could see the stick hanging out they shirt.
Right.
And you're going to allow them to go down that route.
Right.
Instead of going in front of them and just having a conversation to see where they at.
And that's why you just said something. We got to stop being passive. We got to get in front of it. That's why Grand Marshal men is so important. A Grand Marshal is always at the front of the problem, at the front of the parade. And that's why we created Grand Marshal men, to be at the front of these problems. I'm not scared to talk to a brother of mine. Only the African-American man say, I move out of their way.
Right.
You move out of their way. And then right now when you see it on the news, every gas stations where African-American men is sitting down there right now, all they doing is gospeling about these youngsters ain't doing nothing with themselves, they ain't doing this or whatever. And yet you pass them up every day and not bringing a word to them or whatever. I never understand that or whatever. Too many of our men right now is sitting on the sideline and knowing we got problems.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraging your brothers, even if you pull them to the side, man. Any one of them, put them to the side. I don't care what he's doing or whatever. Put him to the side and talk to him. Your words may be the words that he hear after his mama told him out the door. Exactly. Now he run into a stranger and be like, man, you saying the same thing my grandma and my daddy just told me this or whatever. I ain't gonna get in that car. I ain't gonna get in that car, man. Let me out or whatever. Now more than one person seeing good in me. They could see that, man, you're an artist. Man, you're a rapper. You're a good scientist, man. I just seen you. You had a straight A's on. You're going the wrong route, man. What I can do to help you get back on track. So our army can't be sitting on the sideline and when we at war.
Right.
So I would encourage you young brothers that's professionals. I know everybody's not a wino that sit by the stove, but they got so many professionals. When you get off of work, you think 8 hours and then drinking beer by the gas station, you did your part. Now we got to do more than that.
Yeah,
we too far behind for our army and our best and our brightest to be sitting on the sideline.
Yeah, watching our community, our race go to wayside.
Yeah, and our young brothers,
our
man.
young brothers, they want more. But again, like they have to be enlightened. Like we don't grow up again, you know, with the Section 8 housing and all this other stuff that's against fathers being in the house.
Right.
These kids growing up don't have a balanced home.
Right.
A bunch of them.
Right.
You ain't gonna see the one who have mama and daddy. That you very seldom to see them go astray.
Right.
But the one who grew up with an unbalanced home, man, they need extra love and support.
Right.
And that's what they not getting because again, people so selfish and they like, I ain't about to tell youngster nothing.
Right.
He gonna have kickback. Of course he is.
Right.
Because he never had structure.
Right.
But that don't mean you stop and give up on him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The mentors in the schools, they're doing their job because they work for the school system. The guys that work at NORD, they're doing their job. It's the guys that's sitting on the sideline. If you go to every place right now where they got African-American men, and I bring up that thing that happened in the mall, they'll stand there the next 10 hours and talk about how bad this generation is, this, that, and other. I want to encourage you somehow, some way, get involved. Every organization out there that's a nonprofit, guess two things nonprofits need. Money and volunteers. And you're not going to tell me you can't get involved with not one volunteer once a week in a month. It's our job. This is our future. If you're not grooming the next generation of African-American men, what you're doing, you're failing them. Yep, exactly. And sitting on the side like Oprah, talking about them is not fixing the problem. You're only hurting the problem. And we going to...
Yeah, because I know you heard the governor, Landry.
He said they got rum.
They got 18,000 acres of land in Angola.
So his job is to... They pay more to send them to Angola than they do to educate them.
Yeah.
So that's how you know we see the problem. We could talk about the problem, but how many be willing to do something to the problem? And this episode right here, this segment is brought to you by Everybody's Coffee. Let's take a drink.
Wake up, everybody. This for everybody. Come together, everybody. It's time.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And as we promised y'all, we have Mimi in the building today with us. She's the CEO of Silk Me Kids and the curator of Silk Me Kids Academy. Thank you for stopping through, Mimi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. But for our audience who may not know you, of course, you are a mogul in the community. You do a lot with your organization and within your business.
Yes.
Let the people know something about you.
Okay, so first, guys, I am Mimi. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I'm the CEO of Silk Me Kids. I'm the #1 kids hairstylist in the city. I am here just to, give shine some light on my business and the things that we offer for the community, mainly for the kids. We provide a program for kids ages 7 to 17 where we provide them with skills training, theory, and hands-on, where they can learn hair, makeup, nails, barbering services, entrepreneurship, and things like that.
Man,
That's dope.
that's so amazing. One thing you left out, where you from at in this great city of New Orleans?
I am from the New Orleans East area, and I am the product of McDonough 35 Senior High School
Okay.
and Dillard University.
So this is the second person we got from 35. Candy also from 35. 30, McDonough 35 is a historical school in New Orleans.
The oldest black high school.
That's about the only thing they have on us. But anyway, you say New Orleans East.
Oh, no.
On Carver, the greatest school in New Orleans.
We understand everyone isn't privileged to be able to, be a part of such amazing culture we have.
And what y'all call yourself, the Ryan Eagles?
We are the Ron Eagles.
I thought they were Brian Eagles.
But see, that's that call for education they don't understand, okay?
So, from New Orleans East, do you
Yes.
consider New Orleans East the Ninth Ward before we go any farther?
No, it's the East.
Oh, Lord.
we do.
Everybody from the East is
we
lost.
go.
Every guest we get that's from New Orleans East, they don't want to claim. But when they get in a fight, they won't call us. They won't be a part
is
of a war.
us?
Huh? The Ninth Ward. That's
The
right.
who? The Cross Canal people?
No, I'm out the Big Nine. It's
No,
three,
baby, we don't need y'all.
it's
We
three
good.
parts in the Ninth Ward,
We
y'all.
good? We don't need y'all.
It's the Big Nine, the Lower Nine, and New Orleans East. All right, whether you claim me or not, I love
So
you.
you
All
gonna
right.
be humble.
I mean, if it's on our voting registration, and I guess I have to say that.
Yeah, well, it's on your vote registration.
It's on our voting registration, so okay, we go roll with that.
So so would you claim more of the 7th ward than the 9th ward? I mean,
No.
by you going to the Ryan Eagle and Dillard, that's in Gentilly. That's in the 7th ward too.
Chili Gentilly. No, I claim New Orleans East, born and raised.
On and Red. All right, well, we both lost, D. Now leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
We both lost.
I went to high school in the 7th ward, but I went to Fantasy Williams. That was my middle school. I went to Gaudette. That was my elementary school. And I went to Schaumburg. That was my elementary school.
And you went to good schools.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Kimball Montessori's was my, that's way back.
Montessori?
Kimball Montessori's.
I didn't know they had Montessori's back then.
Mhm.
Man.
That's good to know.
So why hair out of all the professions? Why hair?
Hair, I grew up around it. My great grandmother did hair. My aunt still currently does hair. So it was just something that was already in me. When I went to Dillard, my major was actually natural science and public health. So I'm supposed to be a sports medicine doctor right now. However, I told my mom, that's your degree. I did. I fulfilled the wishes of going through high school, college, completing, having a degree. And now I decided to go into something that I loved because I was still doing it in college as well to make money. So I jumped into doing hair right after.
So what does doing hair, what type of feeling are you left with after,
Gratification, love, because I'm a kid's hairstylist.
Mhm.
So I actually provide the services for ages 2 to 16 for kids.
Okay. So it's not adults.
I mean, I started off doing them,
Yeah.
but the need for kids was there because when I first started, no one was really doing kids' hair. So they, at minimum, they'll start at like 10, and you got lucky to get people at 7.
Okay.
But I started at 2 from a client of mine that her daughter was in a wedding and she couldn't find anyone. So I was like, and I was already doing her hair. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then it just kind of snowballed. And that same client is still a client. So kids' clients are forever clients. And she's now 13.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's unusual that people, kids hairstylists. This is the first of the kind. Are you the first one in New Orleans to do that? That
I'm
dedicate.
sure they have before me others. I don't think they did it as young.
Right.
But it do take another level of patience to be able to deal with kids. Like you
Yeah.
really have to have a patience for it. How some stylists say kids work on their nerves, adults work on minds. So, when it comes down to it, it's just an untapped market that people wasn't in. They do have a few kid like braiders and other people that may do it, but it's not a whole lot. We're very small.
Okay. And that's so. Even Chris Rock made a movie about hair. Good hair. In the black community, why hair is, especially in women hair, why it's so important that if the hair not right, the whole event is off. It cancel the day. Why is it like that? With
Because your hair is your essence. And it gives you a level of positivity, confidence, uplifting. That's why when some people say they're having a bad day, they say, I just need to go to get my hair done. And it brings another level to them. You know, it brings their spirits up. So it's just another way of taking care of yourself, hygiene, you know, and things like that. So,
And I will say that now to the rest of the people, you may not understand this, but just for my love of history, even us wearing plaits back then, it was a message from one person to another person inside of the plat styles. So during slavery and everything, when they had to pass messages along, someone like Miss Mimi put plaits as the person going from one place to another. She'll plait her hair, and the other person to know what that message mean. So we had to come up with all these creative ways to trick master, and we still tricking them to this day on how to get to the next level or get things done.
So you said plait. What's the difference between plait and braids?
So plaits is basically individual braids that hang, and then braids are usually braids that go to the scalp, but they have multiple different things. So even the braids can be braided down as well, but plaits is just individual.
Okay.
But it's like tomato, you know.
Okay.
Kind of
You just taught me something.
So
Yeah.
they had braids in their head.
Yeah. And then
I had
also
to mess
it's
with my boy right quick.
somewhat like, so if we're dealing with young men or boys, usually they say or younger kids, they say plaits.
Okay.
For younger kids, older kids and men, they'll say braids, and you ain't about to walk around and say I want some plaits.
Yeah.
Okay. So you amped it up to a whole nother level for not only you committed to kids, but this summer camp that you have is tremendous. My baby girl, she was one of your first students. Now she's a lifetime student. What she is now, she's a student intern. So how you come up with the summer program for the kids?
So the program is a spin-off. So I first got into it. I'm a licensed beauty educator, so I'm able to teach the cosmetology curriculum. So once I got out of cosmetology instructors program in 2020, one of my Silk Me Kids moms worked at a school, so she reached out to me and said that they were looking to do a cosmetology after school program. So that was actually my first opportunity to do something like that after being licensed. So I said, okay, well, I'll take a stab at it. You know, it was something I never done. It was my first opportunity. So I went about it. You know, I used the skills and everything that I learned in the program to be able to build my curriculum and kind of like, you know, navigate through how to incorporate the hands-on and the theory part, because when we go to the state board, we have to know both. When we are learning things, you have to know the why and to be able to do it. So I was able to kind of put together a program, and so now we're 3 years in. So because I use a lot of my content to post about being at the after school program, a lot of parents was like, well, do my child have to attend that school? And I said, well, no, they don't. And that's how I started the independent classes. And I do those at my salon. And so once we move from that part, then that's when we develop a summer camp. So it just was like a snowball effect. Once I got one opportunity, it started opening up doors for other things.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask too. I see that you have like a crazy following on social media. How does that highlight, you know, more of what you're trying to do? Are you getting the support? I want to know, like, are you actually getting the support that you should, even though you kind of buzzing, like you're really buzzing on social media right now?
I feel like my community supports me. This is not my first initiative. So I have been doing a lot for kids since I got in the industry in 2013. We have been doing a lot of give backs. We did school supply drives. We did free toy giveaways. So we do Easter jams. Like we've done all those things over these many years. So when I came out with something like this, and then my niche is kids. So when me doing kids hair for about 8 years, and then now I'm coming up with something for kids that's interested in the industry, it just all just kind of wraps up in there. And then I'm big on networking. I go to a lot of events. I do a lot of things like this, podcasting and talking, you know, about what I have going on. And then I do a lot of promotions. So with that, and partnerships, I do a lot of partnerships now with the beauty supply stores, because I do have my own hair care line for kids. So because I have that, I'm able to use those partnerships to build what I have going on. So everybody always looks for more support. You
Yeah.
know, more support is always good because it expands my reach on what I'm trying to do. But as far as now, I do have a lot of support.
So take us into the community
Okay.
community aspect of Mimi. Like, what is that Mimi about?
So that Mimi is about uplifting, empowering, and reaching the kid in any form or fashion. You know, we have right now I have a partnership with Daughters Beyond Incarceration. So I actually curated a program for them, for their students, their kids, teenage girls that's interested in beauty as well. So it gives them an outlet to understand like you can do other things besides get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can channel your energy into other things. And then we did a segment where we related how beauty and incarceration go together, you know, so they can better understand how while their parents are incarcerated, there are things and methods that they can take to still be able to keep themselves up in the, you know, while they're locked up. So that's one of the initiatives that we have. And then other than that, we do a lot of give back. So when it comes down to, we do something called Free Press Day. So we do Free Press Day twice a year, back to school time and Christmas time, because we know those are the times where money has to be spent a lot, and it kind of be a little bit scarce on being able to do those necessities. So we offer free silk press services to about 30 to 50 kids. So we do that back to school time and Christmas time. When it comes down to Christmas, we do the toy giveaway. So we'll partner with, you know, other businesses and be able to get toys in there, and then we have them come, we set it up at the salon. After that, we do something called an Easter Jam. So it's usually around Easter time. And we just have just like a field day, basically. So we have them, behind my salon is a big field. So we have the Easter egg hunt there. We'll have certain vendors there, space walks, food trucks, things like that at the salon. Just to kind of, you know, just raise the morale of the kids in New Orleans East area. Yeah. So that's, you know, a lot of the different things that we're doing. Of course, I do a lot of silent things like prime giveaways and things. You know, certain things I don't promote because I also want to respect the privacy of some people that may be less fortunate. Yeah. When they had the government shutdown, I offer free services to a lot of the people that, you know, were affected by it. So, and I never posted about that. Right. You know, so a lot of things I do that can be posted and some that I choose not to because I want to protect the families. Yeah.
Man, I love everything. Sure. And just for our audience to understand that when you sit in these positions, and I have to say this, when you sit in these positions and the expectations of everything that she said, why she started and what she doing, this is the same pressure I would like you guys to have for other businesses. Mm-hmm. Now, as African-American business owners, Rick, Ms. Mimi, and myself, we want to do these things. And a lot of times, they got other businesses that are sitting in our community with no responsibility, but they ain't got to worry about bad publicity. They ain't got to worry about going out of business because you guys continue to send revenue their way, no matter what, and they don't do nothing. Mm-hmm. And yet, we actually got started for you guys. So I want you to know, and also you received a proclamation from the city of New Orleans for your hard work. Yes. How did that make you feel when your city recognized your hard work?
I love it because it goes unnoticed, you know, and if I'm able to make sure that I'm doing something for my community, for the kids, to be able to give back and be recognized for, it's amazing. Like that, I've received, I think I have maybe like 10 proclamations.
What?
Yeah.
You've been
so
working.
I've been receiving proclamations since 2017. Okay. I opened the first kids salon and spa in the area. So I was in Esplanade Mall first. Mm-hmm. So I received a proclamation for opening up something like that in their community. We opened up a barbershop, so I received a proclamation for that. And then, of course, for the camp, and then I received some others from award shows and stuff. Yeah. So.
Man, that's amazing. Yeah, and Essence Fest is one of our favorite festivals down here, and you have been partnered up with Essence Fest. Tell us about the event that you always give every Essence Fest.
Okay, so it's not a partnership with Essence.
Oh, right. Clear it up. All right.
It's not a partnership, but we do host an event during Essence Weekend. Right. So that started back in 2013 when I first got in the industry. So at that time, it wasn't a lot of promotion of small business. So you had to just deal with Essence, and they didn't really promote a lot of New Orleans-based business. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, I want to be that catalyst for my city so we can have our own opportunities to promote and things like that. So that's when I created the Small Business Expo. So it was called first the Hair Glam Squad Salon Experience because we were offering just services. So we were doing hair, makeup, and barbering. Once we got to maybe like year 4, that's when we seen a lot of small businesses arise. So that's when we started adding vendors. So we got up to about 30 plus vendors. We had about 15 beauty professionals. And even in that initiative, the last day would be Kids Day, where we do free services for kids. So I always try to make sure in some capacity kids is involved because I still also want them to see what they can do. We partner with beauty schools. So we did a lot with Blue Cliff College. We do a lot with TCI, NOLA, and Aveda, all the majority of the beauty schools, and we have their students come in as volunteers so they can see what this will look like for them. So they can see I don't just have to be behind a chair. I can have my own products. I can curate events. I can do programs. I can teach. So it's multiple streams of incomes besides that 7. You got that main 7, but you can take that so much further.
Yes, indeed.
So is a school in the works full time? Do we have it in the works so we could put it out there in the atmosphere now?
No, not necessarily. So I don't actually want a beauty school. I feel like I can do so much more without being underneath the umbrella of the government.
Right.
So I rather my programs and I rather the partnerships inside of other people's schools.
Right.
Inside of other people's things. So like how they have STEM NOLA in everywhere.
Yeah. Right.
I want to be the next STEM NOLA.
Right.
But on a beauty aspect.
Right.
So yeah.
I like that. Cause I was thinking big time school. I could see this, in your way.
Well, if I do a school,
it'd be in your way.
Yeah, I would only accept that 16 to 18 range.
Right.
So anybody after that, they gotta go other places. But kids is my thing. So if I'm catching them in like 16, they're juniors in high school that they can enroll. And if I catch them at 18, some of them may be finishing or however they can start at 18 or however they see fit, but that'll probably be my age group and it'll be that particular beauty school dedicated to them because then we're adding other components besides beauty. We're adding entrepreneurship. We're adding life after school. We're also pushing college because again, this is a trade, this is a career, but you also have this to fall back on if you still want to go to college. So I always tell people, I would have did this first, then college, because I can make the money. I don't have to work 3 and 4 jobs and doing all of those things and then trying to go, to college and stuff. So do this first. Because again, especially if you are going into the medical field, doing different things, finding work while in school is hard. Yeah. So if you can use your hands and do it, then that's what you do. So I would do beauty school first and then college instead of I did college and then
go beauty. Yeah, you're absolutely right because that's how trades was for us back in the day.
Right.
Like they had culinary. Yeah, it was in school, but now they didn't strip all that away. And our kids, they don't even know how to put an a tie at this point. They don't know nothing.
And I would say that's so important too with the trades in the school. We have learned so much that a lot of these jobs, I use welding. If your uncle had a welding machine, was teaching you in the backyard, and you go to Bo Brother Construction, fill out all the stuff that college telling you need to do, they're going to walk you to a room and give you a test. So instead of my first job, I was making $5.15 an hour. If I would have had an uncle with a welding machine training me, I could have walked to Bo Brothers, and how good I was on that machine, welding-wise, I could have been making $27. All the other stuff, safety stuff, they're going to teach you all that. But if you can put a weld on right then and there, and that's like even with CDL driving, you necessarily don't have to go to the school. If somebody got a truck and teaching you, you can go straight to the state and take the test.
It's the hands-on experience.
It's the hands-on experience. So, and a lot of times, we send our kids to go get in debt over something that we could teach them, and it's just, and that's why I was saying the school, not necessarily just your part. I think we need a school like that, like a building, and they got insurance in there, they got the CDL, and not regulated by the state or any of them. Joe Blow teaching you. I've been doing it for 22 years. So his 22 years experience give him qualification just like you just said with Essence, not on the record, but I could teach you what I know. Now you can go and take what I
And do
teach
your
you.
own thing.
But if you regulate me, now you teaching me, I got to teach these people all this stuff that it really don't matter in the grand scheme, because the job gonna teach you that anyway.
Yeah.
So
Every job got their own set of
Their
yeah,
rules.
they got their set of
Yeah, their own
rules.
standards.
But when you go in that school, you fill out for it. Now you charge me $13,000 for something I could have been learning with my uncle, and then I went and took the test, and the job gonna teach me their rules and anyway.
Well, that's why what you're doing is so important too. You know, whether you keep getting the smaller contracts with the schools or whatever, but then it's so hard to do that because each school is independently owned and run
so you
now.
have to go through different charter systems and stuff just to be able to pitch, which, you know, once you have an evergreen media kit and pitch to them, you just change up what it is, make sure that you include their core values, how your program benefits what they have, and then you just roll it out.
Yeah.
Would
So
you
how many schools are you in like currently?
Right now I just have Phyllis Wheatley.
Oh, Phyllis Wheatley? That was my old hood.
now?
And I've been with them about 3 years now.
So I really think it need to be in schools to whoever over the schools all year round. This need to be something that
definitely does.
this is an elective that can, like sewing and all that. That's not in school anymore. I just don't understand with New Orleans culture,
Home ec, all
with
that.
all that, it need to be in there, hands on. And I never forget. And I'm not gonna say that he meant bad by the school, but I'm gonna call him out. William Rawlins, Rawlins from George Washington Carver, the band director. Rawlins said, I know some of these guys not gonna graduate. He said, I know if I didn't let them in the band room, they're gonna cut anyway. They're gonna be out there on the street. He said, you know what I do? I let them play music in here all day. And you know what? He was right. A lot of times I go to parties, and when I see that band coming through the door, it's a George Washington Carver student playing an instrument. And these guys tell me they have traveled all over the world. Not these Grammy Award winning guys. Guys that dropped out of school, which he already know they was in there, but he taught them music. They actually had a skill. So their skill kept them out of trouble. So in a lot of times, imagine you don't put her with Miss Mimi teaching in school, and now that kid wandering. They ain't got nobody on the books to do hair, to make some money. So you know what they doing now? They're going to commit a crime to do that, and now the jail packed and stacked, and you trying to figure out what the problem is. It started in high school when you gave them bullshit as electives. And some of the electives is just worthless.
Yeah. Now, the only thing they have now that's worth it is PE. So that's what everybody.
Yeah.
But they don't even teach about STDs or nothing like.
No, we had the DARE program.
What? We had
and
a lot.
all of that.
Yeah, all
they
they
don't do none of that.
They don't even play dodgeball. You hear me? They just hug the
Kickball.
wall.
And that's how you got so many oversized kids in elementary. It's just like running around. PE was the you go outside.
Yeah, it was the thing.
Now they too cute. So
They too cute.
it's one of the things that drives us about the school system. And the reason why I see that we should own our own school system. And if we own let's just say one of these old when Dixie's that went out of business, we buy that and it's our own thing. We doing what we want to do up in here. And now it's easy for Lil JoJo to get a scholarship if I had to pay for him to come by you. You're not certifying him. What you doing is getting him prepared to go take the state board, and it's cheaper and more hands-on for somebody they could relate to, and then go to the board and take the test. Then you sending me to Saint something school to the being school. You charge me $13,000 to $14,000, and I still gotta go take the state test anyway.
Yeah. So I think the most difficult part about that, which is, a great thing, but we need to look into as a community and business owners, entrepreneurs, is how to get that going.
Right.
Because one thing that the government won't like about that is that you actually creating a solution.
Right.
Just like the hospitals. They don't want you to be cured.
Be good. Yeah,
Right.
they
You
want
get what
to
I'm
come
saying?
back.
Just like the education system. I'm gonna talk about the education system for a second. What they teach us, we don't use after we get out of there. A lot of this stuff, if we go into the job, we learn that it's a whole different world. I have to, again, abide by the standards of this company
Right.
that don't involve the English that y'all taught me, that don't involve the mathematics that y'all taught me. However, if we don't do something as a collective, which is entrepreneurs, community leaders, and stuff like that, we won't get to the place. I don't see it. Because
I
again,
see.
you're gonna have so much red tape in front of you, and like our executive producer always say, the goalposts get pushed back farther and farther.
Mhm.
But if we don't start stuff like this and have these conversations, I feel like we're gonna always run in place.
And let's put it out there. Next summer, let's come together. We actually can do our own where we feed. It's a feeder program where we are partnering with her. She already got the hair going. Now learning about financing. Give them a 6-week course and all that.
Mhm.
And now what we charging can it's better than them sitting in NOAA now for that whole
Yeah,
summertime.
it's
They
definitely
actually
better.
learning
They need
now.
more.
They need
Yeah.
more. So
They need more.
we already have spotted our kids behind the 8 ball, and I think this is something that we could bring together. Let's get together, entrepreneurs, electricians, welders. Let's get together and put a program together. And now, if we can have our kids with us for this summer, I can assure you that we'll have a better outcome than depending on the other programs
Yeah.
that's misleading them, underserving them, and underperforming on all levels.
I agree.
I agree.
Let's go, baby. Let's put it together. We're willing to work with anybody.
Mhm.
Work together, all right? You got to be willing to put the work in or whatever.
Not
Outside
everybody.
And the money.
And the money. Like,
yeah.
now I'm about to say
And
no
the money.
no brokies.
Yeah, we got to put
Everybody,
up the
we gotta
coin.
with the resources is definitely important.
So we're going to take a quick commercial back with Miss Mimi, and I hope you guys is learning something today. It's more than just being a hairstylist. And I'm the Honorable Darren D. Purnell, and this episode is brought to you by Everybody's Coffee. Let's take a drink.
Wake up, everybody. This for everybody. Come together, everybody. It's time.
Welcome back, everybody. And once again, we here with Miss Mimi with Silkman Kids. Oh, man, if you're not learning that today, you just don't want to learn. Now, I want to talk about you have umped the ante. You got the audacity to have a summer camp for the girls. And I was saying, dang, they need some for boys. Now you done added in the barber now. Now, this summer, your kids can learn how to do makeup, nails, and hair. And your boys can come and do learn how to cut hair.
Yep.
Go into that.
So we added the barbering component this summer. I wanted to make sure that I understood how everything ran first, sir. So before I add multiple things. So once we was able to kind of get a routine down, we understand how our curriculum is going to run and how our camps is going to run. I decided to launch the barbering camp. So I have this in partnership with 2 of my barbers that's actually on my Glam Squad for Essence, which is Perry. He go by Barber Junkie on Instagram, and then Jonas, he goes by what is Jonas Shop 504, something like that. And so there will actually be the barber instructors. So their camp is going to be held on the West Bank. So it's not going to be held at the salon with us. And it's a 4-week program.
4 weeks.
4-week program. So is it open registration? Like,
Yeah,
what's
we
going
still
on
have.
with that?
Yeah, we have open registration going on. We also have an open house on May 2nd. It's going to be at Infinity Gardens on the West Bank of Barataria. I think it's 2200 Barataria Suites H&I. And they can come there. So basically for open house, we have it set up as like a mini expo. So we set up multiple stations with different skills there, so they can actually do skills on the spot and kind of like get a taste of what camp is going to be about.
So what's the capacity?
We're gonna do about 20.
About 20.
So 24 barbers and barbering students, and then 24 for beauty.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I wanted to ask you. You say barber, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of joked about this, but I want you to look at my hair and let me know what you think. Like, what you rate my hair?
I could give you like a 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Yeah.
Why the 8, not the 10?
It's too tapered, too much on that side.
So, what you say, D? What you gotta say?
So-
You think I need a new barber?
So
No,
his
just-
barber gonna have to
He
answer
just
for
gotta
that.
adjust his lighting in the shop.
Okay, all right. Because I got some questions. My son too been having some problems, so I just need a little
Yeah,
validation.
just have a conversation. That's all.
Okay, so that's it. That's how you get through those moments. Because
Just
a
have
lot of people go
conversation.
into the barber and think the barbers or beauty, stylists
Mhm.
know exactly what you want,
Mhm.
and that's what I want to go into too. Before we get into the entrepreneur segment,
That's good.
why do customers come in and feel like y'all just know exactly what they want?
So we don't know. We can't read the mind. So that's one thing we ask for them to bring inspo pictures. And inspo is just that inspo. It could not be exact because that picture can have been touched up all kind of ways. You know,
Right.
it can be like for me, if they bring me a style, I say, well, you know, that's weave. I can tell it's weave, but you don't know it's weave, and your hair is totally different from that picture. Or are we doing hair color? Like we don't know where they started off at to get her hair color this color. You're starting off at a whole different level, so we can get something close, but it won't be exact. So we kind of like try to make sure that through our consultations and educating our clients, we let them know based on, we only could deal with what comes in the chair.
Right.
So we let them know based on what we see, you know, what they can and can't get. We have this issue and argument all the time on social media because the client feel like, well, look, I'm paying you, so you supposed to do what I request or what I ask. But then you also have to understand you are paying me as being a professional. So you want me to be able to give you my honest and professional opinion, because then if you go out looking crazy, then you're going to say, well, I paid you. And then I'm going to say, well, this was you wanted. So then it's like 1 minute is like you want me to give you what you want, but then the next minute if it don't look like the way you think it's supposed to look, I'm the problem. So it's like we gotta understand which way this gonna go.
And this to help females out. As a young kid, I learned my lesson early. I went to the barber shop and I asked the barber to give me a haircut like my cousin. And I realized that my cousin was his waves will make you sick. But he been on his waves for about 5 years. Then I had a partner of mine that had good hair. The hair that like Rockwaller hair, you know, it laid down or whatever. I realized that I didn't put the work in for the waves, and I didn't have this hair. So my hair was not gonna come out. And we'll talk about that, how people, sometimes the quality of the hair of the person you're doing it on is gonna come out better than a person that just, you don't take care of your hair enough.
Correct.
Or whatever.
And that's what I try to explain to people. You know, when you're coming into the salon, because I deal with silk press, healthy hair care, natural hair. So I'm dealing with whatever you bring me. So if you have years of not taking care of your hair, years of not taking a trim, years of not treatments and things like that, I can only deal with what you bring me. But then we also have to understand what we're dealing with the hair is not going to be cured or taken care of in one visit.
Right.
So the health of the hair is consistency. You know, that's something that's going to take months. It took months for you to mess it up. So it's going to take months to be able to repair it. So I just try to tell people, like, you have to be able to understand it is an investment when it comes to your hair. Though hair is luxury, it's still an investment. And it's luxury coming into the salon, but you also need to be able to take care of it at home. So we do try to educate them on things that they can do. I know they go in a frenzy about prices and about all kind of stuff, but they also have to understand that we're using quality products. We're not just going get some stuff off the shelf in a beauty supply. I don't want to name different brands, but we're not just going to just get stuff off the beauty supply store and then using it on your hair, which is something that you can do at home. We're using professional grade products that you need a license to go and get.
So in having a silk bonnet and a silk pillowcase, that matters, especially if you can wear your bobbins and all that, right?
Yeah, that does matter. You need to make sure that your hair is tied up. Yes.
But me and Rick came up with this idea because we don't like to see women with bonnets on. So me and Rick say women that live in New Orleans, only in New Orleans because the humidity is high, that wear the regular hair, they're allowed to wear bonnets out in public because they got their real hair.
Oh no, I ain't come up with that.
Remember we came up with that?
You came up with that.
So the reason why I was saying, because they hair don't look frizzy. You know, I discussed this with women, and they say, and I used to be a security guard at the bank.
Yeah.
And they used to have women that run with their hair wrapped up, get in the bank, and then unwrap their hair, because they say if they play out that in the humidity, it's gonna frizz up. But they was wearing their real hair.
Correct.
So why do women that don't wear their real hair is rocking the bonnets?
Because they ain't all the way together underneath that. The lace product ain't lifted. You know, the hair not curled. It's not combed out. They just rolled out of it.
So you don't think the bonnet become a ghetto? Not, they put it on us.
It's ghetto.
It's ghetto. That's what I'm trying to say. It's ghetto out and about.
And I know they're going to probably try to wrestle me down in the comments. At the end of the day, things like bonnets, headscarves, certain headscarves, but that's homeware. That's like wearing slippers. That's homeware. Pajamas, homeware. Do-rags, homeware. Like that's not supposed to be worn inside the home.
Right.
That's how I was raised. So I can't go off of other people's, raising and, things like that. But that's how I was raised. Like that type of stuff. Like when you leave out the house, you should always be together. You should have undergarments on. Like I never understood that. So, to each his own, but wearing bonnets and then it becomes a stereotypical thing as well, because we're giving people a reason to be able to stereotype us. So it's like it's okay. I'd rather you put a hat on. They got all kind of wig hats now, all kind, like just put a hat on. You can put a beanie on, whatever it is, but you don't need to put a bonnet on.
Yeah, and you see it a lot, and that's what you just said. It becomes stereotype when you see them in the airport and things of this nature. I think this generation has took it as a style, but it put us once again in that box of it's just like. And with us, we love our people, but the ghetto find every single thing, taking it everywhere or whatever. And even schools had to ban it. Walmart now is banning pajamas or whatever.
They should.
And it's just how I'm raised.
Ban it out the salon.
Sure.
Yeah,
man,
so
that's when it's bad.
It's so bad. So for these people to have to write what's supposed to be the norm that you was taught at home into policy now, because remember, it wasn't no policy because everybody respected it. You just don't come outside like that. So how do we get back to
when it became a trend is what I want to know. Like,
well, again, then also like you say, we may think it's the norm, but everybody's norm isn't ours.
Yeah.
So if I have a teenager that's wearing a bonnet, but then I look at the mom and I see her with a bonnet, I'm like, oh, well, that's why.
Right.
Because you are what you attract. You're a reflection of what is at home. So not everything, because I know they do have troubled teens out or whatever, and they have loving parents that, wants to get, but majority of it, is what we see. You are a representation of what you learn at home. And that's just what it is. So if you're coming, they had a guy, he was on a news thing and he was like, we talking about the child and all of that. What if the whole family effed up?
Right.
What the whole family
retarded?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes they are put in those positions to not be as fortunate to, have what we have had. So, but it's still not an excuse, because at the end of the day, you're adults now.
And I would say this, and this is a great thing. Standard. I think we allow other people to tell us, and this is what we get mad at. We allow other people to create the standard for us, and then we complain about it. The movie with the guys from the West Coast, Dr. Dre on NWA, they didn't pay to do their movie, but they was in an interview complaining about it. And between Dr. Dre with the money he have, Snoop Dogg with the money he have, they could have put the money together and shot their own movie and tell their own story. But they was mad about some of the things that were said in the movies. So why would you let somebody else shoot a movie? And I use that for our neighborhood. We don't have no measure stick for ourselves. Like, what's fat and what's not fat? So when you go to the doctor and he tell a African-American woman she's overweight, he's basing that off of what? What he think, especially if that doctor is not an African-American doctor, what he think you should be at based on his. And I'm saying that in society, if we don't set a level of standards for ourselves, then other people will consistently. When we say that's ghetto, when we put this out on the line, it should be no adult coming against us on what we saying. So that means all of us have set the standards as African American on what we should look like, what's considered ghetto, what's considered not. Otherwise, they pass policy and laws on us, and then we get mad and argue about what other people say about us when it's supposed to be our culture. This something that we don't like, let's get rid of it. We should have nobody else defending it or saying anything negative or creating policy
but
on.
You can tell it's a problem because even when we going into stores, they're saying no bonnets, no pooch-shiesty masks. It's like, come on now. But of course, once you put it out there, people are gonna say, but to whose standard is this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, at the end of the day, we have to have common sense. You can't wear no bonnet to interview. So why wear it in the street? Keep it at home. You have to have yourself well groomed and put together. You never know who you're going to run across. You never know what opportunity is going to be presented, but you're not ready. You should always be ready.
And that's
then we fought for that too. Like, it was something called the Crown Act. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was the Crown Act where they wanted you to look like them. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Black people couldn't have their own identity. You
Right.
couldn't go into the jobs with curly hair, braids, or dreadlocks, whatever your culture was. You had to be like them.
Right.
It's now it's like a reverse effect. You know, and it's
Right.
always like that with us. You know, we kind of retract from the progress that we already made.
Right.
And again, you know, it's always gonna be kickback.
Yeah.
It's
And
gonna be kickback because people feel like they entitled to do what they want to do. But one of the things that I hate most is that you'll get up and go to the second line on a Sunday and have your Sunday's best on. You know what I'm saying? But when it's
right.
time to go and represent your child at school, you in
You
that
looking a
joint.
mess.
You
And
in
it,
there with pajamas, the bonnets, the do rags, like. But Sunday, you up early in the morning, ready to go and get toe up. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
and I would say this, that any young man that have a Pooh Shiesty mask on, when you enter any building, when I was in elementary, I got slapped in the head so many times by my coach for walking in the building with a hat on.
Yeah, that
And
too.
you just learn as an adult, when you walking in any building,
You
whatever
take
mask,
your
whatever, you
grandma.
take it off
You
or
sure
whatever.
do.
So now we live in a culture, now you are getting mad because you're in a place that have security so they prevent them from getting robbed. And now you got a mask on. He don't know if you dare to rob them or not, but it's part of your swag, so you would say. So now he asking you to take it off and you feel some type of way, but you should not have a mask on in a store.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I think a lot of that go back to COVID too, and then we're gonna get back on track. But COVID created this new society for us, and then now people using that as a way to enter these facilities, even though they kind of went back. Oh, all right, we back to norm, whatever norm is. But during that time, everybody was required to wear
a
masks.
and they choose to
And now they choose to carry it on, which caused problems. And I think that anytime the government does something, there's always a reason why.
right.
You know what I'm saying? They wanted the world to be where it's at.
Yeah, because that's funny how they just had the shooting at the mall, but didn't they pass the law for us to have
More guns.
guns?
Yeah.
So now something happened, and now you're over there huffing and puffing like a child
Yeah.
because why is this going on? But you allowed this to happen.
And it's the same governor, when he was attorney general, stood up in front of the United States and said, people that own guns and they should get more guns is good, great people. Now he stood back up, like you're saying, right in front of the news and say they got 18,000 acres in Angola. So you got to make up the
He's
decision.
hilarious.
Yeah, you got to make a decision, Mr. Governor. People don't kill people with the people don't kill people. It's the guns that you consistently allow the people have access to.
Yep.
Every level of gun level that you should go up in, if you want to go from you owning a 9mm to now you want to own a AR,
Sniper.
more classes,
Yeah.
or whatever. Temperamental. You got people that just psycho analysis. Like, nah, I'm going through your social media posts and see what you put on there.
Yeah.
Why would I? All right, you're a good person, but I look on your social media posts. If we interview him right now, you want his AR and you put on there, something happened, all Hispanics should get killed. You're not a person that I would trust to have something like that. Why would you say that? You'll have to answer to me as a psychiatrist on why would you think that? Why would you post that? Now I'm denying you for 6 months. You'll have to prove to me that you deserve to have the high power rifle. So I think that there'll be a better thing. But one of the politics, we'll get back into entrepreneurship. You're doing an amazing job of inspiring this next generation. And I know you guys may have think we got off course, but all this stuff coming in alignment, we have to deal with this stuff as business owner, as nonprofits. This stuff just go hand in hand what we already talk about. Yeah. But as an entrepreneur yourself, having your own product, how you go from not just being a hairstylist to branching off into the rest of the revenue streams?
So, of course, we wanted to make sure we're developing multiple streams of income, but inside of our niche. So anything that I do, because I'm a kid stylist, because I have a kids brand, is always going to be involving kids in whatever capacity that it is. So the products, Silk Me Kids, is really my second time launching. So that's one thing as an entrepreneur, we always not going to get it right the first time. So the first time I launched it back in 2015, it was called Silk Me. So that was just a silk press line because that's all I was doing was silk press. So I wanted to give some type of retail to my clients. But it flopped after like a year because I really didn't understand branding, launching products, marketing and things like that. So when I went back to the drawing board, I said, well, look, since I rebranded to just be a kid stylist, I'm gonna rebrand the products for kids. And then I understood how to launch products and how to market and how to build the content. And so now we're successful. I launched it in 2017. So now we're in almost 20 beauty supply stores around the city of New Orleans. So it was something that, was needed. I feel like they're gonna already go to the beauty supply store and just buy anything. So if I'm already coaching them and consulting with them on how to take care of their hair, why not have the products in store, in the salon, or in the stores for them to be able to get?
That's big.
And that's big. P said product outweigh talent. That's what Master P said. In having product that they gonna already use available, but you didn't go mainstream. So did you go the street route? I'm going drive up to this beauty store and I'm gonna ask them, can my product? Did you go the street way?
Yeah. So well, not really street, but digital way. So I sent them DMs. Like I sent them DMs, say, hey, meet me. I have kids hair care products. Would you be interested in putting it in your stores? And I kind of give them a little synopsis just to kind of break the ice. And then one tactic that I did was I actually got a job to be a brand merchandiser with beauty brands. So that provided me the opportunity to go into beauty supply stores. So I had to talk to the store owners anyway. So when I went and talked to them about that, then I kind of built a reputation, and then boom, I hit them with my products.
That's big. So that's like you walking down the same path as Madam C.J. Walker, right?
Yeah.
That's some powerful shoes you're stepping behind.
Yeah.
But you getting it done too. So
Yes.
kudos to you and
Thank
everything
you.
that you do for sure, Mimi.
Thank you.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick commercial break right quick. And this segment is brought to you by Silk Me Kids, where all the kids go for summer camp.
Wake up, everybody. This for everybody. Come together, everybody. It's time.
Welcome back, man. We have enjoyed ourselves, but we have another segment called Do You Remember? All right, we take you back through memory lane and see, do you remember? All right, are you in or out?
I'm in.
All right. The first thing, do you remember, is a game where we go through television shows, movies, things in New Orleans, things that happen in the world. We want to know, do you remember? All right.
Hopefully.
All right. During the movie Set It Off.
Okay.
What's the name of the friend that ran off in the first bank robbery? Come on now.
Dang, what's her name?
She ran off. You could use her movie name. She ran off.
Some with a T or something. No.
Come on. Go ahead. Keep going. She ran off.
She was the one that was really going to rob the bank because her son. I forgot her name. But y'all know what I'm saying.
TT.
Yeah. I know what a T. Yeah.
I knew this was. So I was like,
Frank,
come on.
Frankie, yeah. I'm not in the mood for your bullshit. All right. So in that movie, Set It Off. Give us your finest memory in that movie.
The end.
The end. I was gonna give you that option. If you had to go out like Queen or go to jail.
I'd have been on a bus.
You got Queen like you got that Queen Latifah. You in that role, huh? You going out? Or you gonna lead out?
I'm out.
You out?
I'm on a bus with what her name?
Jada Pickett.
Yep. That's with
Stoney. With Stoney.
Yeah, but you only had the role of Queen Latifah. That was your role.
I can't roll with her. I ain't try to get shot up there about 100 rounds went at her.
What you think? If you had to say what was going through her mind,
like, F it, I'm hit. Yeah. Like, ain't nothing else. Like, you didn't took the whole police department onto a high speed chase. Like, it's nothing that can happen.
And them officers got killed. They killed them officers for the first robbery, right? Mm-hmm. So it was a life sentence no matter what. It was gonna be a life sentence. Mm-hmm. So Rick, what you would have?
I'm going out like
You rolling out?
I'm gone. I ain't about to go out. You can take me fast. You heard me? I'm good.
Now that I get to think, I would have been on the microphone telling them they got kids in the car. I got to buy them in the trunk. We're gonna negotiate my deal right
Boy,
now.
stop it.
I'm not trying to get no L. Look, I got a 15-year deal, and I ain't gonna let this bomb. I want my paperwork signed right now.
Yeah.
But
Ain't doing
it.
Ain't doing
man,
it.
because I know it was a life sentence. Because them officers, this is the first robbery where police officers actually got killed.
Yeah, that was a death sentence.
Yeah, that was
They
yeah.
gonna
There was
hit you
a
with that,
yeah
that lethal shot.
yeah. So yeah,
That was gonna be a wrap either way. So
Yeah.
yeah. But the moment when Luther stole their money, what you thought about that? Because you think they would have never did it again if they would have kept their money from Luther?
I think so.
I think they was
'Cause
retired.
I just think they was just over it.
Yeah.
I think a few of them was over it. But
Yeah.
you know how they always had that greedy person who just don't know when to
No,
stop.
But-
Yeah, don't know when
But
to stop.
when Luther stole, I think what he stole, like how much he stole from them?
Well, what it like
He's
100K?
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was a lot of money.
And what would make Luther go in that vent?
He was a janitor, huh?
Yeah, but you know,
Man,
you know what I'm
was
saying?
Maintenance.
Yeah, but to go in that vent, something had to make him go in there. They must have called and said the air wasn't flowing.
I think so.
Could have been.
Yeah, but Luther went in that thing, and
He jacked them, and that was a wrap.
and he had that Rolex.
Luther,
And you
yeah.
see how Luther said when your girl was coming to work late, she said you work for Luther's janitorial company. Say, girl, you got to start defending yourself. My next question: you grew up in an amazing New Orleans East middle class community.
Mhm.
They had a place called the Plaza Mall. Tell me about it.
I loved it.
That's it.
We had a great time at the plaza. Teen events, skating, all those different things. Pictures with Easter Bunny. So yeah, it was great.
So
where y'all skated at?
they had
Yeah,
a
the
skating
skating
ring.
ring.
Yeah, it was all that at one time.
I ain't know they had a skating ring out there.
Yeah,
Inside them.
yeah,
I
the
just
skating
know
ring.
The Grand was
The
there.
Grand,
The Grand. That's when Magic came with his. But before that, they had they don't movie theater in there.
Okay.
They had it in there. So what do you think about New Orleans being a major city and don't have a mall nowhere in the city where we could shop? So all our tax dollars go to another parish. What do you think about that?
I don't really like it. I feel like before Katrina, we had everything that we needed.
Right.
Especially in the East. We didn't have to cross the bridge for nothing. We had everything we needed there.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to, it's really all of our money going into tourism.
Right.
Which we've always been a tourist city, but I just feel like they're neglecting the needs of the people.
Now, Rick, I'm gonna ask you this question. Well, how good retail is online now? Do you think the city officials are looking back saying, you know what, if we build a big old mall, we're not going to really get the money back from that because a lot of shopping is done online right now.
Yeah, the city probably feel like that, but that's why, again, you need these entrepreneurs to invest into these properties themselves. Like, I saw B. Judy bought
the
plaza and stuff like that.
Yeah, the strip mall on Bullitt.
You have to start taking matters into your own hands.
Right.
For sure. But what do you think, Mimi? How you
I
feel
feel
about
like
it?
we do, but they shouldn't make it a difficult job for us to do. Yeah, she was blessed enough to be able to purchase her plaza, but a lot of entrepreneurs starting out is not. So in what capacity are they going to make it easy for us to get revenue, funding, different things, and the support of the city to be able to do that? It takes too much just to even get an occupational license, just to get zoned, just to even open up a business. They just had, a lot going on with the Smoothie King trying to open up out there.
Right. Yeah, he been in a dog fight.
So it's like, and he's an entrepreneur as well, so it's like if we're having those challenges, it's making it hard for other people to feel like that they want to have a storefront or a brick and mortar. So of course everything is going online. I think we should be modernized more with that. So if we do have people that have online, make a hub available for those stores to have spaces to keep their products,
right?
To keep their inventory, so that way they don't have to have it all in their house and get storage units and things like that. So if they have something like that available, like how they have suites, they should have business suites. And then they can set up, their small spaces and it won't cost a lot. And it still gives them a level of independence and not have to have a full 10,000 square foot space.
And what you just saying, in Texas, they actually have it like that, where the storage unit, how you could just rent out one of them, they have it set up like for office with conference rooms and all that for people that have online business, where you could rent out a storage space, but you could run it like an office. So now when you got to meet with somebody, they got a conference room, they got coffee and all that. But for as your day-to-day business with internet and everything, you could be in like your storage unit, and it's beautiful. I'm gonna send y'all the link. I checked it out. It was beautiful, but it's in Texas. And for this last question on Do You Remember?
Okay.
Do you remember in the movie Friday who Debo took the bike from?
Smokey.
No, that was Smokey. He didn't take the bike from Smoke. Who he jacked out the bike?
Oh, he took the chain from it.
He got knocked out, had the eye.
What's your boy?
This is when you watch the movies, because she know all the answers, but forgetting the other characters and only know the main characters.
I know.
He got knocked out. They was on a porch.
Yeah, because he was like his mama's. That's my mama's thing.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, dude. But y'all know.
Yeah, we know.
My mama gave me that shit.
Rick, who he took the bike from?
He took the bike from the dude who had the Dickie shirt on.
Who was
He
this
ain't
dude?
have
Red. He did that. His name was Red.
Red.
Yeah. His name was Red. Or whatever. In a great movie on Friday, came out in 1995. They didn't have zero expectations. They say, I was 10. They sent it to Howard to give them a viewing of it. Smokey and Faison Love, which was Big Worm, say Ice Cube thought it wasn't gonna be that good. He sent them to the premiere. He said they got up and tried to leave before the movie got over. And all the movie students was like, man, when y'all letting that out, man, we love the movie. And it's a hood phenomenon. I mean, you can't be black and not have seen this movie or whatever. What's the best part about this movie that you like?
What's the best part? I don't really have no best parts.
Well, what's your favorite part? What's the favorite set in the movie you like?
When he was fussing at him about the cereal.
That was a classic.
Fussing at him about the cereal. You don't eat pig feet.
I said, put some water in that shit.
Put the water.
And it goes to show you that even in that situation, what I like that they added to it, and I didn't know if they did it purpose or not, they grew up in a 2-parent household. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that Black people parents do stay together. Both of them did have jobs or whatever. And that movie is such of a classic. You could talk about the whole part. My nieces and nephews, when they watch the movie, I hate watching it with them. They talk to every part of the movie. It seems like they know for verbatim or whatever. So what's your favorite part, Rick?
My favorite part is the part when I don't know who it was, Smokey Craig and Felicia came to the door.
Right.
Like,
Felicia?
yeah. Some people ask to borrow sugar, maybe ketchup, but you asked to borrow my car. You know, like
that's a big favor.
That's a big ass.
And then she came back and asked, can she borrow the DVD player? No, VCR.
VCR.
Yeah, but in every neighborhood they have somebody like that. Mm-hmm. She wasn't a bad person. Mm-hmm. And then she actually had the toughest boyfriend in the neighborhood, which was Debo.
Yeah.
And Smokey was like, Felicia fucking Debo too? Where your mama at? My mama is in Vegas with her boyfriend. So those things, man, that movie is such a classic or whatever. But I want to ask you, are you agreeing to come back to be a friend to this show?
Of course.
I want you to look directly in that camera right there and tell our people how they can find you and how can they register for this summer program.
All right, guys. So you can follow me on Instagram at Redhead _hairstylist. or at Silk Me Kids. The links are in the bio. So our open house is going to be on May 2nd at Infinity Gardens from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. You can come there. We're going to have it set up as an expo style so they are able to get some hands-on skills just to kind of get a taste of what we will be offering. Of course, there is a fee that's going to be connected to it, and then you're also able to actually make your deposit and your payments at the open house to secure their spots. When you register your child, they're actually going to get a welcome box. So inside of our welcome box, we'll have future beauty or future barbering stuff in there. So that's going to be really, really fun. So for the beauty camp is going to be from May 26th to July 31st. If you're not able to attend the full camp, which is priced at $1,500, we do have sessions available. So the first session is May 26th to June 25th, or you can do June 29th to July 31st. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Lunch is included. Their kits are included. We have all the materials that is needed, so they're not going to have to bring anything but themselves. All black attire, no skin showing, and clothes and shoes. We want to make sure also that their hair is done at all times. All right, so that's for our beauty segment. For our guys, for our barbering segment, that is going to be for 4 weeks. So that is going to be $750, and it's going to be from May 26th to June 25th. All right, so that's going to be held at Infinity Gardens on the West Bank, and a beauty camp is going to be held at the Silk Me Kids Salon. So Silk Me Kids Salon address is 7701 Zawaya Road, Suite 106, and then Infinity Gardens is 2200 Barataria Boulevard, Suite H and I. All of the links are in the bio, and then make sure to RSVP for free for open house that is going to be on May 2nd at Infinity Gardens. Links in bio.
Once again, I'm the Honorable Darren D. Purnell, the street speaker himself. And don't forget our book, Businessmen, is on Amazon. Yo, Rick.
Well, you heard the man. Businessmen is on Amazon right now. So y'all make sure y'all copy y'all a copy. And as for this session, this episode, I hope it was just as informative to you as it was to us. And for us, again, you can find us on Erabody's podcast. That's ERA Body's podcast on all social media sites. And we out.
Peace.